Alright guys, I'm down in my shop. I had a customer ask about a ram pump, a larger 2-inch ram pump going to Costa Rica ultimately for a lime farm. And he bought a 2-inch but with just the regular swing check valve, and those are kind of basic and you can't really adjust them other than like tilting the valve over, which is fine if it's a 3/4 inch valve, but if it's a thicker chunky valve, it's a lot harder to even adjust anything with wrenches because everything's just so large. So here is the waste valve on this. It's an inline swing check valve, or spring check valve, not swing, spring. But typically there would be a guide in there and a spring, but I have removed those and I have added my own. You can see in there, it's a deflector. Well, you can't see it from the bottom, but there's a deflector that goes down in there. And there's just threads in the other end of that. But it's got an adjustable force. So right now it's like barely on. And then this really cool assembly here, if I lift it up, it allows it to disengage from the rim and go up. So it engages with the same exact stoutness, rigidness, tactile feel. But anyways, there's magnets, and this is steel and this is stainless steel. This is like a 4140, I think. It's just in the scrap bin in my lathe. But I can rotate that up, and as it goes higher with the magnets, it pops off with more and more force. There, see, it's fully attached now. I mean, it will go, but it's like a direct magnetic connection there. And that's really nice because there's no weight. Important for shipping this because like a lot of them, they just have springs or weight or something. This has 0 moving parts that are contacting. Like magnets, magnetic force, it's a force without any actual touching. So I thought that was cool. And so this is a 6 magnet, I guess we'll call it a rotor. And then I also printed a 2 magnet rotor. Let's see, not that one, that's an older one. And I'm using my Bamboo Lab printer here to do color filament changes. So how slick does that look? I need to add like letters here that say lift, because you have to lift it to rotate. If you don't lift it to rotate, then it's really clunky. But that's my interesting design, and the cool thing is you can adjust it while it's running. So let's go all the way down here, and the way that this works is this rotor, I guess if you call it a rotor here, the core of it is threaded. And then there's a shoulder, I guess, yeah, similar to a shoulder bolt on the the metal piece here. And this shoulder contacts directly with the frame of it, so it's not contacting the rotor here, and it's not contacting inside. I have a polymer linear bearing for this to slide on, and inside here, this is not all thread. This is actually a piece of 8mm polished ground rod that I painstakingly, used a die set on both ends. And then the other end here, you can see that that's also threaded, tapped to attach. So that's a polished rod. You can see the polished rod in there that goes down through the linear bearing. So I'm very pleased with this. It needs a little bit more polish, maybe some letters up here. But that'd be a little bit tedious to do. And maybe instead of, this is probably going to corrode, but to do a magnetic stainless, Oh, another thing that I was going about with this. So this is a 2-magnet rotor. Did I say that? I don't know. It's 2-magnet rotor, and this is a 6-magnet rotor. And then you can also add weight. I guess what else? That's just stuck on there. But my final plan here is to add a lock nut on there, and that'll keep this in place because this is threaded on this rod as well. So that would go like that. All right. I think this is polished enough to actually sell something. Previously, do I have that? Yeah. Previously, I had something like this on there, and you know, it splashed water out the sides. It was a little bit hard to print. There's bridging in there, but you know, with this design and those chamfers there, it prints. Let's see, it prints in this orientation. So it prints that with 0 supports. There's only one little part inside that needs supports, and I could even design that out. Okay, that's all. Bye.